It's something you've seen 1,000 times but never really questioned. Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, even Goofy, almost every classic cartoon character from the golden age of animation wears gloves. But have you ever wondered why? The real reason might not be as innocent as it seems. At first glance, the gloves seem practical. Animators in the early 20th century designed characters with exaggerated hands for better visibility. White gloves helped distinguish hand movements in black and white animation. That's the simple answer. But what if there's something more? A darker, more unsettling truth hidden beneath the surface of animation history? To understand the mystery of cartoon gloves, we have to go back, way back, to a time when animation was still in its infancy. The year is 1928. Walt Disney's Steamboat Willie debuts, bringing Mickey Mouse to life for the first time. But what most people don't know is that the early versions of Mickey looked eerily different. His hands were bare, his fingers too thin to be noticed clearly on screen. Then, almost overnight, gloves appeared, and soon, every major cartoon character followed suit. Some say the gloves were nothing more than a stylistic choice. Others, however, whisper about something far more sinister, an urban legend buried in the shadows of Hollywood's golden age. The Forgotten Experiment. In the late 1920s, deep inside an underground animation studio in California, a group of animators worked tirelessly on experimental films, projects that were never meant to be seen by the public. These films were crude, their characters eerily lifelike, with expressions too human to be comfortable. One particular film, rumored to be named The Silent Hands, was said to feature characters with unnervingly detailed hands, each movement so precise it almost felt unnatural. Test audiences reported feelings of unease, describing how the characters' fingers seemed to twitch on their own, independent of the rest of the animation. Some even claimed that watching the film too closely made them feel as though the characters were reaching out, trying to escape the screen. Then, suddenly, the film was buried. All records of The Silent Hands were destroyed. Every animator involved disappeared from the industry, their names erased from Hollywood history. The surviving animators who spoke of it said only one thing: the hands. They moved on their own. The animator's oath. By the time the 1930s rolled around, gloves became standard. Officially, animators claimed they were easier to draw, that they simplified hand movement, that they saved time. But those who dug deeper uncovered something else, a secret oath taken by animators at the major studios, an agreement never to animate a cartoon's bare hands again. Old documents from the early animation industry suggest that something happened during those early years, something so terrifying that animators refused to speak about it, even decades later. Some believe it was a hallucination, a mass delusion fueled by exhaustion and long hours spent drawing the same characters over and over. Others say it was something else entirely, something lurking beneath the ink and paper, something trying to break free. An anonymous former animator once wrote in a personal journal, found years after his passing. "We started seeing things. At first, just in sketches, little details that weren't meant to be there. Fingers curling in ways they shouldn't, tiny scratches appearing where we never drew them. And then, the hands started moving, just a little, but enough. Enough for us to know we weren't alone in that room." The lost tapes. The legend of the Silent Hands might have faded into obscurity if not for a disturbing discovery made decades later. In 1989, a storage facility in Los Angeles was cleared out, and among the dust-covered reels of forgotten animation history was a single film canister labeled only as Experiment 1932. A private collector purchased the film and decided to play it, expecting to see nothing more than an unfinished cartoon. What they found instead was something unexplainable. The footage, grainy and disjointed, showed an unnamed cartoon character, its eyes hollow, its face frozen in an unsettling grin. But the hands. The hands were wrong. They moved in ways that defied traditional animation, bending and flexing with unsettling fluidity. The fingers stretched too far, reaching toward the edges of the screen as if trying to escape. Then, the film cut to black. The collector who watched it was never the same. Friends and family reported strange behavior, paranoia, an obsession with hands, a fear of being touched. And then, one day, he disappeared, leaving behind only a single note. They don't belong in this world. A modern mystery. Despite how bizarre it sounds, the story of the Silent Hands and Experiment 1932 refuses to die. Occasionally, mysterious sketches surface, old drawings from the early days of animation depicting characters without gloves, their fingers twisted in impossible shapes. Some claim that late at night, if you slow down certain classic cartoons, you can catch glimpses of something hidden, something that shouldn't be there. Most people laugh it off as just another internet horror story. But animators? Those who have spent years studying the history of cartoons. They don't laugh. Instead, they lower their voices and whisper. We don't draw bare hands anymore for a reason. So, the next time you watch a classic cartoon, pay close attention. The gloves might just be a simple artistic choice, or they might be hiding something much darker, something that was never meant to be seen. Because some secrets are buried for a reason. And maybe, just maybe, we were never supposed to ask. Why do cartoons wear gloves?